This wannabe influencer kills people on live stream in order to go viral. Alright, so there's this guy named Kurt who's been trying super hard to be a big deal online for a long time. He's got this cool channel called Kurt's World 96 where he does all kinds of stuff like draw my life videos, gaming, showing off cool shoes, and even talks about his favorite keyboard shortcuts. Plus, he introduces us to his DJ dad, Chris, who divorced Kurt's mom a while back. It really upset his mom, so Kurt decided to stick with her and earn some cash by babysitting. But here's the thing. Even though Kurt makes lots of videos, not many people watch them. Like, seriously, hardly anyone. It's a bummer, because he's not getting many views, not even close to hitting double digits. Totally different from Bobby. This kid Kurt used to babysit. Bobby has his own channel called Bobby Basecamp, and he's totally famous now. Kurt thinks they're pals, but Bobby kinda just puts up with him and doesn't really let him join in on his videos. After 10 years of trying and failing to get big online, Kurt's had enough. He's finally ready to give his channel one last shot, and he's calling it The Lesson. It's all about showing people how to get famous on the internet. Let's see if Kurt can make it happen this time. He's got his car decked out with loads of cameras and a bunch of water bottles. You know why? 'Cause he believes in step 1 of his super secret lesson. If you don't show off what you're up to, it's like you're invisible or something. Kurt's plan is to work as a driver for this app called Spree, which is all about ride sharing. His first passenger is this strange guy who's not into wearing a seatbelt and acts all suspicious about those cameras. But our cool driver Kurt tells him they're just for safety and protection. Here's the twist. This passenger starts talking nonsense about white supremacy, and Kurt's like, uh-oh, that's not good for my audience. You see, he's got this one loyal viewer named Bobby, and he doesn't want to lose him. So, Kurt decides to drive a bit recklessly to make things intense. The guy in the back seat starts complaining, but Kurt's got a trick up his sleeve. He gives him some free bottled water, but guess what? That water's been messed with, and it's super dangerous. Kurt even made a video tutorial on how to do it, sneaky devil. As the ride goes on, Kurt cranks up the music and goes through a stop sign like a daredevil. Sadly, the passenger can't handle the poisoned water and ends up kicking the bucket right there in the back seat. It's kinda dark, but Bobby, the only viewer, thinks it's all an act for more views. Kurt's fine with it though, 'cause it's all part of his master plan. Next up, Kurt picks up a snobby realtor. After some small talk, she decides to grab a water bottle herself. But oh boy, little did she know what she was getting into. Yup, you guessed it. Kurt's second kill is in the books. Kurt's not shy about showing off his work. He even gets in the back seat to make sure the camera gets the whole thing. He's so bold that he jokes about drinking the water himself. Yikes. Meanwhile, Kurt's friend Chris calls for a ride, but Kurt's too busy to care. He's got his hands full covering his tracks like a pro. He uses the realtor's phone. Yep, she's no longer using it, to give himself a 5-star rating on the app. And just to throw people off, he sends a rude message from her phone, so nobody expects her at work. After tidying things up, Kurt picks up his next passenger, this big, tough dude named Mario. But Mario's not thrilled with Kurt's choice of music, and he's not interested in that free water either. Kurt, the cool driver, decided to take a different path to pick up a new passenger. Mario wasn't too happy about it, but hey, Kurt had chosen the pool option. Guess who hopped into the car? It was none other than Jesse, the famous influencer and stand-up comedian. But oh boy, things got awkward real quick. Mario tried hitting on Jesse, and she wasn't having any of it. She canceled the ride and walked away. Kurt, determined to impress Jesse, offered to drive her for free. As they cruised along, Kurt was amazed by her huge following, so he asked her how she became so popular. Jesse simply said, "I'm just funny." But Mario wouldn't stop with his inappropriate comments. Jesse had enough, so she decided to record these creepy encounters and share them on social media. She left the car, saying goodbye to these troublesome guys. Kurt felt bummed that he missed a chance to make friends with a successful influencer, so he made a sudden change of plans. Off they went to a faraway construction site, and Kurt was driving so fast that poor Mario started feeling sick. Eventually, Kurt couldn't take it anymore and told Mario to leave the car to avoid any mess. Mario grumbled, but had to go find a restroom. And here comes the unexpected twist. Kurt decided to play his own song, cranked up the volume, and went full speed, causing Mario to fly above the car and land on the front window. It was like a scene from a crazy action movie. After dropping off Mario and cleaning up the car, Kurt checks out Jessie's social media. He discovers she's doing a stand-up show that night. He thinks it's a sign because both he and Jessie have big things happening on the same night. But let's be real, Kurt isn't super famous yet. He only has a few viewers, and his only tipper is Bobby. But here's the thing about Bobby. He's a fake creator. He does fake stuff, like pranks on homeless people. That's not cool at all. Jessie, on the other hand, is loved for being genuine and relatable. Kurt stops at a gas station and decides to get rid of a realtor's sign. Then he fills up the tank while arguing with Bobby, who tells him he's boring and needs to spice up his stream. Now, Kurt wants to listen to Bobby's advice and make things exciting. So, his next passengers are a group of socialites, Richard, Kendra, and London. Buckle up, 'cause it's going to be a wild ride. They all hop into Kurt's car, and man, Kurt drives like a crazy person. Richard and Kendra are freaking out at first, but London's loving the thrill and chats with Kurt up front. Kurt takes them to a junkyard, and he's all like, "Hey, let's hang out the sunroof. The view's perfect for selfies." Richard and Kendra go along with it and actually have some fun. But then, things take a dark turn when Kurt starts speeding and locks the sunroof shut, trapping them inside. Creepy, right? To make matters worse, wild dogs show up from the junkyard, and they're hungry. Yikes. But Kurt's not done yet. He grabs a power drill from his car, and that's when things get super scary. He tries to hurt London with it, but she's not going down without a fight. Meanwhile, Bobby, another friend, is watching all this on a live stream. But he's not into Kurt's antics, so he stopped watching. Kurt calls him later, all upset because Bobby hasn't given him a shout-out like he promised. Bobby's like, "Hey, be more like Jessie, she's authentic." But Kurt's just jealous and starts nitpicking Jessie's social media posts. Jessie, on the other hand, is doing her thing. She posts a video roasting Mario and Kurt, then goes to take care of her grandma while recording it for her followers. Unexpectedly, a fellow comedian friend, Mike, shows up at her door to talk about work. Meanwhile, Kurt decides to visit Bobby, but Bobby's not having it. He tells Kurt to leave because they're not friends or collaborators, and he does this right on his live stream. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. And to make it worse, Bobby's fans start checking out Kurt's stream, and it becomes a whole mess. Out of nowhere, Kurt pulls out a knife and stabs Bobby on his live stream, and his watching finally reaches double digits. Bobby tries to act all tough with a gun, but Kurt manages to beat him, and everyone watching thinks it's just a prank. Kurt takes over Bobby's stream, and even shows himself showering to clean off the fake blood. He goes through Bobby's stuff too. Right then, his dad texts him, asking for a ride to a gig. Kurt doesn't want to do it because he wants to go to Jessie's show, but when his dad mentions meeting a famous DJ, Kurt changes his mind. They pick up his dad, and it's pretty awkward between them. They end up arguing, and it doesn't stop until they hide the gun because cops are nearby. Finally, they make it to the club and meet the famous DJ named Uno. Kurt asks her for a shout-out on his channel, but she says no at first. However, she eventually agrees to do it if Kurt drives her to a taco truck. So, they finally stumble upon this super dope taco truck, and Uno's like, "Yo, Kurt, you gotta snap some pics of me in front of this food heaven." But she ain't stopping there. She's got this bossy deal going on, and she makes Kurt stand in line for her too. And let me tell you, that line is insane. But Kurt, being the crazy storyteller he is, starts sharing these gnarly and disgusting tales, trying to scare everyone away from the truck. Like, seriously, who does that while waiting for tacos? While they're killing time, Uno takes a peek around the car, and guess what? She finds that gun Kurt swiped from Bobby, and what does she do? You won't believe it. She uses it as a prop for her selfies. Talk about a wild photo shoot. Then Uno's all parched, so she grabs a bottle of water, except it's not your regular H2O. Oh no, it's one of Kurt's special brews. And you know what happens next? She downs it and passes out cold. Kurt comes back with the grub to find Uno out like a light, and he's got to think quick, so he gets rid of the evidence, that shady water bottle. But guess what? Trouble's knocking on the door, literally. The cops show up, all suspicious of Kurt and the situation. Now he's got to put on a show, claiming Uno's his girl, and she just knocked out from the taco feast. Uno wakes up though, 'cause she didn't guzzle enough to actually kick the bucket. And when she spots the cops, panic mode kicks in, and she shoots one of them before making a run for it. Of course, one of the cops ain't letting her off the hook that easy, and he's chasing her down. Meanwhile, Kurt takes this golden opportunity to hightail it in his car. But guess what, y'all? The cops are hot on his tail too. And here's the craziest part. The whole thing's being streamed live, and his viewers are shooting through the roof, hitting those insane 5-digit numbers. So Kurt's got the cops on his tail, and he's like, screw it, I'm driving like a maniac. But things take a dark turn. He crashes right into a homeless camp, and you won't believe this. He actually goes after some of the hobos on purpose. It's like he's totally lost it, man. His car flips over, and who knows what's gonna happen next. Meanwhile, Jesse's caught a ride to her show with this dude Mike, who's way too clingy and keeps bragging about all these connections he's got. But when he gets up on stage for a little opening act, it's a total flop. Like, nobody's laughing, and the audience is probably thinking, get off the stage, dude. Then comes the real deal, Jessie herself. And man, the crowd goes bananas when she takes control of that mic. But hold up, y'all. Guess who's lurking in the shadows? Yup, it's Kurt, hiding there with his gun. As Jessie goes through her usual jokes, she starts spilling the tea about her spree escapade with Mario and Kurt. She's dropping some real talk about Kurt's obsession with social media fame and how it made her do some serious soul-searching. She's preaching that happiness ain't about having a bajillion subscribers or views. Nah, it's all about being true to yourself and not letting others judge you for their entertainment. And get this, she goes all out and smashes her phone right on that stage, saying, bye-bye social media, mic drop. The whole crowd stunned, man. Jessie just blew their minds. Now here's the twist. Kurt's actually moved by her speech, and he's like, you know what? I'm out of here. He decides to leave without causing any more mayhem. But guess what? His murder spree got the spree service temporarily suspended. So, no more online chaos for him. Kurt, using the GoGo app this time, gets a ride with this friendly dude named David. But here's the thing. David cracks a joke about not being the psycho driver going around killing people all night. And Kurt, being the messed up dude he is, takes that personally and, in the blink of an eye, ends up killing David just like that. Back at the bar, Jessie's totally fed up with Mike's relentless recording, even after she swore off social media. So she's like, peace out, Mike, and calls for a go-go ride. But guess who shows up as the driver? Yup, it's Kurt again, and he's got some major beef with Jessie because she mocked him during her stand-up routine. Not only that, he knows she can't call for help because she smashed her phone on stage like a boss. So Kurt's like, we're gonna spread love instead of hate at my place, which, coming from him, sounds hella creepy. But Jessie's not taking this lying down. She grabs a phone charger cord and starts fighting back, even though she's stuck in a moving car. That's some serious guts right there. She manages to strangle Kurt while the car smashes into a trash container, but he ain't giving up that easily. Kurt stops the car, probably all annoyed, and then straight up punches Jessie, knocking her out cold. The next thing she knows, she's on Kurt's front lawn, with him dragging her body under his headlights. Like, seriously, this is turning into a horror movie. Kurt's streaming some wild stuff, and he's all like, yo, what should I do with Jessie? And his viewers are just spamming the chat like there's no tomorrow, saying he should straight up kill her. It's nuts. So, Kurt gears up to run her down with his car. But whoopsie, he stops to fix his camera, and bam, Jessie's gone. She sneaks into the car while Kurt's not looking, and you won't believe what happens next. She takes control of the wheel and tries to mow Kurt down. Talk about a plot twist. But dang, Jessie's not the best driver, and things go haywire. The car smashes right through Kurt's house, and he's able to dodge it like a pro. And get this, he tries to suffocate her with the airbag. But Jessie ain't no damsel in distress. She fights back and Kurt's forced to flee. Then, hold on to your hats, we find out Kurt's been doing some messed up stuff even before this crazy live stream. He killed his own mom, man. Unbelievable. Now, Kurt's back with a gun from his car, and he shoots his dad like it's nothing. Jessie's trying to escape in the car, but she ain't having the best luck, you know? She ends up crushing Kurt against a wall. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions. The chat's going nuts the whole time, cheering Jessie on and stuff. But wait, Kurt's not dead yet. Jessie's got no choice but to finish him off with his own phone. Yikes, But here's the real kicker. The chat's still crazy, and they ask for a selfie with Kurt's dead body. Seriously messed up, right? After all this madness, Kurt's story goes viral, and Jessie becomes this big-time multimedia queen. People either love her or hate her, but you won't believe it. Some messed up corners of the internet see Kurt as some twisted hero. How messed up is that? And then, here's the cherry on top. Some user drops a bombshell. They're making a freaking movie about Kurt called Spree. Like, can you believe it? Life's wild, man. You never know what's gonna blow up on the internet these days. But hey, that's the story of Kurt and Jessie, the live stream drama that shook the internet. Please consider like, share, and subscribe.